every second, every minute. Man, I swear that she can get it. Say if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high.
Hey! Welcome back to my channel. It's me, skhiya, and we're back with another video, another episode of Let's Talk About It. I'm on this comfy pillow. I have my tea tray. It's seeping right now. We have honey chai, and if you clicked on this title, we're about to get into some deep shit, but like, it's gonna be good for this all. It's gonna be good for us. We're gonna bond after this experience. We're gonna learn some things, and then we're gonna redirect our life so we're no longer living this way. So the title is How to Take Back Control of Your Life, because I'm tired of seeing people be controlled by like insecurities, fear, anxiety, other people's perceptions of them, and it's keeping them from living the life that they desire and the life that they deserve. And I was victim to this. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I haven't been through this. Like, I'm just now living the life that I want with no given, because I'm finally in a place where like I've erased a lot of the fear and a lot of the care about other people's perceptions of me, and I wanted to share that with you today. So yeah, me personally, just a few years ago, especially through high school, growing up, I was a people pleaser. I still kind of am. That's a whole nother video in itself, but I was the type of person that lived solely to be liked by everyone else and to be accepted by everyone else. So I had no idea who I was. Growing up, I wanted to make friends and I wanted to just do everything everybody else was doing because I thought that was the only way that I was going to be accepted, and I still wasn't accepted by being a follower anyway. Looking back on it, I should have been myself in general, but like growing up, we used to move around a lot. I met these girls and I just tried so hard to please them. Like, I would do things that they liked. I would like talk about things that they like just so I can be gang. I just wanted to be accepted. I just remember I was on the bus and I just wrote a song, and the girl took the paper and like started making fun of me, and I didn't write songs until freshman year of college, like, because it was engraved in my brain that I wasn't good enough to write a song. Little things like that stopped me from doing things that I liked because I was discouraged and made fun of for doing something that I liked. You know what I mean? I just lived life according to everyone else's opinions of me and perceptions of me, and some of them I just made up in my head, like, oh, I need to stop talking because I'm annoying. And maybe that's true, maybe that's someone else's perception of me, but I don't think I'm annoying. Growing up, I used to be very excited about certain things, and I would remember like family members or friends like, girl, why are you excited about that? And I'm like, well, because I like it. And they're like, well, you're weird. And I stopped being excited about things that I should be excited about, you know? I just was that person that allowed everyone's perceptions of me to make me shrink back, and I wanted to be a carbon copy of anybody instead of my great, amazing, beautiful self. Like, we are doing the world a disservice when we don't show up as who we are. So like, everybody else, be yourself. If I could tell you I'm gonna be anything, like if I could go back, grab her hand and just be like, girl, you are a bad, you are going to do great, amazing things. These people don't know what they're talking about. You don't lose that childlike joy, and you keep loving and believing that you can do anything in this world, because you can. Because now at 19 years old, I'm having to unlearn all those negative things and unlearn those negative thought patterns that were given to myself because I kept letting other people control my life and perceptions of life. No, we're not doing that no more. You only have one life, so why allow other people to keep controlling yours? How are you happy if someone else is living your life for you? You know, how are you happy if you can't make decisions for yourself? So I was once there with you. Like, people would tell me what I can and can't do, and it got to a point where every time I failed, I would believe them instead of just accepting that failure and getting up again. I finally just sat down and was like, okay. For an example, when I was younger, I wanted to hoop, and in 6th grade, I was on JV, like I sucked. And then that summer, I trained really hard, you know, got really good. And then my coach was like, you're not good enough for varsity, but you're like a little too good for JV, so do you want to be the manager? And I was like, well, dang, like, my basketball dreams are away. At that moment, I just allowed myself to fall, and I didn't pick myself back up. I distinctly remember my mom asking me, like, because I was like crying in shambles, because when I tell you I was working so hard over that summer, like, I improved significantly. So for her to cut me off that team was like really rude. I improved significantly. Like, I was going to the gym every day, working my ass off, because like this was something that I wanted, and that is the kind of person that I am to this day, and I love little me for that, and I know she'll appreciate that I didn't lose that in myself. My mom like knocked on the bathroom door and she was like, so Are you going to just stay down, or are you going to get up? And then I was like, you know what? Tears bubbling, like, I'm gonna get up. And so then I went out for track and fell in love with the sport. That failure redirected me into something different. But it's also just like, I let that limiting belief of I'm not good enough keep me from hooping. Like, I could have tried again. I could have picked up a basketball later on in life, but I didn't, because I just was so distraught, and someone put that in my head, and little me just took it like that. That's my story. I was the girl that let other people write her story. I think my tea is good. I'm so excited. I really hope I didn't ramble. Honey, 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 I can see the stars all the way from here. This is my favorite kind of tea. It's honey chai tea. So good. So some of the reasons why we allow people to control our lives is because, for one, we are afraid of the inevitable. We are afraid of things that didn't even happen yet. Say you want to start this YouTube channel, you want to become a content creator, you want to go talk to that person, you're afraid of a door closing in your face that hasn't even happened yet, you're afraid of judgment that hasn't even happened yet, you're afraid of failure, you're afraid of rejection. Like, you're just afraid. Like, fear is honestly the main thing that stops us from going after what we want. But once you realize that fear is really fake, fear doesn't even exist unless you give power to it, your whole life will change. Like, you can end the video here. That is the key to life. Fear does not exist unless you give power to it. Fear was literally created to stop you from doing what you want to do. So remove it from your life. And it's easier said than done, but it's really just like, do things scared. Do things knowing that you might get rejected. Do it anyway. Just do it.
Let's do it like Nike.
How are you afraid of the inevitable when it hasn't even happened yet? You don't even know what's gonna happen. It could go good, it could go wrong. At least you gave it a shot, you know? That whole, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It's real. It's annoying, but it's real. The other reason why is because we lack self-love and self-trust. I don't know about you, but I never thought I was worthy of the life that I wanted and the life that I'm working towards. I thought, like, who would want to watch me? Who would want to put me in these spaces that I want to be in? I'm not smart enough to get here. All these negative things pop up in your head that stop you from getting what you want and desire in life, because you ultimately believe these things about yourself. And it's time to change your perception of yourself. It's time to love yourself more and let yourself know, I'm capable of X, Y, and Z. I trust myself enough to go after X, Y, and Z. You have to build that. You have to build that trust in yourself and that self-love, because ultimately it comes down to what you believe that you deserve and what you believe you're capable of, and that's the only way you're going to get what you desire in life. The power of your subconscious mind, baby. You better teach it. You better let it know. Your subconscious mind is going to ultimately create your life, so you need to teach it right now that I am worthy of the life that I desire. I'm capable of getting it, and all the bullshit. You lack self-love and you lack self-trust, and we gotta get that fixed. Another reason why you keep letting people live life for you is because of the limiting beliefs that you allow people to put into your life. You keep allowing people to speak things in your life. Like, Mom, I want to go to the league. Babe, you're 5'4". You can't go to the league. Which might be true, but that's a limiting belief now. You think that. Or, Mom, I want to be a doctor. You got C's in high school. You can't be a doctor. Like, those limiting beliefs in your head are going to add up. And honestly, that is really the main thing and the main reason that holds us back from getting the life that we desire. I remember, this is drastic, okay? Like, this was very drastic for me to say, but when I was in track, my goal was just to be the best track runner I could be. And my mom stupidly told my coach, because I knew it was like a dream, but it was something that I was going to work towards. My dream is to go to the Olympics. My mom was like talking to my coach one time, and I got so embarrassed, and she was like, yeah, she wants to go to the Olympics. And my coach was like, the Olympics, man. Like, he was basically telling me, like, this girl is not going to make it to the Olympics. And he was right, but that limiting belief was just the main thing that I still think of to this day. Like, damn, the Olympics was a stretch, but you know, anything is possible if you put your mind to it. But that limiting belief ultimately did hinder me, and I took that personally. And I feel like the main thing when it comes to limiting beliefs and people speaking into your life is that you need to know who you are and what you're capable of, so no one can shake that. Have enough self-love and enough self-confidence and enough self-trust in yourself that somebody speaking down on you and telling you, hey, you can't do this, you know in your head, I'm dismissing that thought. They're a liar. Get the f out. This is not what I choose to believe. I choose to believe that I am who I am and that I'm capable of doing this thing or achieving this thing. You know how a fly hits a window? You're the glass and the bird or the fly is the thought, and you just let it bounce off. Because you're so strong in who you are and what you desire that, like, all this outside noise can't up what you know you got going. Okay? If I can give any advice, it ultimately knowing who you are and standing on it, because no one's going to be able to control a strong-minded person. Not calling you weak-minded, but let's be real here. No, I'm just kidding. But like, no one's going to be able to control you if you already know who you are. And when I say know who you are and stand on it, I'm thinking like unshakable, like that limiting belief coming in, bop, or somebody making fun of you. Who are you? You don't even exist unless I allow you to. Know who you are and stand on it. Have so much self-love and self-trust and self-confidence and clarity on what you want. That is the biggest thing when it comes to taking back control of your life, is you have to figure out what the you want your life to be, because you've been told so many times who you should be, who you shouldn't be, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So you're lost. Now it's time for you to dig deep and get clear on who you want to be, so you can take the pencil back and be like, hey, I'm living my life like this. All y'all can shut the up, because this is my life. That will ultimately get rid of your anxiety, your fear of judgment, your care for other people's perceptions, because you know who you are. And no one can tell you who you are but you. Like, I was talking to my friend about this. I don't know if it makes sense, but it's like, you know you're 5'4", you know your height. And sometimes when you're talking to a man, this is like a little, because you know, a man will say he's 6 foot when he's really 5'11". You know your height. And someone comes up to you and they're like, you're 5'2". And I'm like, no, I'm 5'4". Like, I know I'm 5'4". Like, shut up. You're not gonna be like, hey, oh, maybe I am 5'2". Hey, you're gonna fail at this thing. Huh? Who are you? Like, do you know me for real? Because I'm about to succeed in X, Y, and Z, because that's who I am. You know, you need to be so unshakable that anything that comes your way, you know you don't need to believe, because ultimately this is your life. In this book called The 4 Agreements, right? One of the 4 agreements is don't take anything personally. That is the biggest and best piece of advice I've ever gotten, that I try to live by, because when you take things personally, you ultimately give power to that thought or that person. And when you give power to something, then it can then control you. Don't take it personally. They're figuring it out too, and they don't know how to channel what they got going on, so they felt like they had to come over here. But you're so unshakable, and you're watering your grass. They don't even exist in your world, because this is your world, and you have the power to create it the way that you want, and you have the power to be perceived however you want. So you guys know I got some affirmations and some journal prompts for y'all. The first affirmation is, my success is inevitable. Say it, repeat it, believe it. The second is, I am who I desire to be, and I choose my path. The third one is, I trust myself to live the life I want. I trust myself. Just repeat that in the mirror. I trust myself. That'll take you far. I am worthy of the life I desire. I am worthy of the life I desire. I am worthy in general. Say it, believe it. And the last one is, the life I want is already mine. Law of assumption, baby. Ultimately, it comes down to rewriting and reprogramming your mind, doing the shadow work and doing the work so your subconscious mind can finally believe these things. So I have some journal prompts for you. One thing that really helped me when it came to taking back control of my life is figuring out what my personal mission statement is. Like, my personal mission statement, if you ask me, is help people grow into the best versions of themselves. What is your mission statement? What do you want to do in life? Who do you want to be in life? And then once you know that, then it's like, how am I going to get there? What do I need to do to get there? And then how do I unlearn all those negative perceptions that are keeping me from being there? The second journal prompt is, why do other people's perceptions of me matter so much? When did I start thinking this way? Why do you care so much about what people think of you? Why and where did this stem from? Maybe it was a person coming up to you on the playground and they're like, you're ugly and you smell like feet. And then from that day on, you're like, damn, I'm ugly and I smell like feet. So now you have to unlearn that pattern and know that you're not ugly and you smell very good. It's a thing. Number 3 is, why am I afraid of failure? That is a thing in itself. Like, it kind of goes into, why am I afraid of failure? When did I fail? And now I think I'm a failure. Why do I think I'm only capable of failure? Why do I think I'm not worthy of success? Think about it. Number 4 is, why don't I trust my own judgment? Who told you that you weren't capable of thinking for yourself? These are questions you need to ask yourself to gain clarity on why you are holding yourself back and standing in your own way. Number 5 is about limiting beliefs, and this is every time a limiting belief comes up on your path to getting to where you want to go. So a limiting belief that comes up for me, we're going to be a little transparent, is my videos just aren't reaching people. Maybe my content is bad. And so every time a limiting belief comes up, you need to replace that limiting belief with positive thought and a positive affirmation. So instead of saying, well, my content is terrible, I'm never going to get the audience for me, I'm going to be like, my content will reach the people that it's meant to reach. I'm going to continue to create great videos and keep growing in my craft. Every time a limiting belief pops up for you, you need to dead that thought, flip the switch, and tell yourself the complete opposite, and tell yourself the real truth of who you are. And before we go, my favorite quote is, how can I lose if I'm already chose? In the wise words of Ice Spice, how can you lose if you're already chose? If this is a life that you truly desire, if this is the person that you feel in your heart of hearts that you were supposed to be, you were chose for that lifestyle, you were chose to go after that. So how can you lose if it's genuinely something that has been placed on your heart to go after? The only person standing in your way is yourself. The only person that is going to stop you from taking back control of your life is you. So take back that pencil, babe. Rid of that fear, that anxiety. Do things scared. Trust in yourself. Know that you are worthy of the life that you want, and go write your story. Alright. I hope you enjoyed. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you learned something from this video or just got encouraged from it. Just leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know how y'all feeling. I'll see you guys next week. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that
Every
cute stuff.
second,
And until
every
next time.
minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Say if you a bad bitch, put your hands up.